Hello, friends. Have you ever gazed at the night sky and felt totally insufficient? Did you know there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth? Have you ever wondered about your place in such a vast, complex universe? How do we, such tiny specks in an endless cosmos, fit into God's grand design? It's mind-boggling, isn't it? I'm glad you want to know more. So stick and stay, because Psalms 8, lines 1 through 9 is a profound passage that reflects on this very question. It beautifully explores the significance of humanity in light of the majesty of God's creation, offering a perspective that is both humbling and uplifting. In today's world, it's easy to feel small and insufficient when we think about the enormity of the universe. Many people struggle with the idea of a personal God who cares about us when we seem like dots in an endless sky. How can we believe in God's intimate involvement in our lives when the scale of the creation seems to dwarf our existence? Psalms 8 presents a compelling narrative that contrasts human frailty with the magnificence of creation. As we explore the verses, we will find that this very contrast highlights our special place in God's plan. The psalm not only acknowledges the vastness of the universe, but also emphasizes the unique role humanity plays within it. This relationship between our smallness and God's greatness can be a source of inspiration and belief, reminding us that our value is not diminished by the universe's immensity, but rather affirmed by God's attention to us. Verse 1. O Lord, our Lord, your majestic name fills the earth. Your glory is higher than the heavens. The psalm opened by declaring God's majesty, recognizing that his name and glory are not just confined into earth, but extends far beyond the heavens. This verse sets the tone, reminding us that the God we serve is greater than anything we can comprehend, yet his presence is evident everywhere. Verse 2. You have taught children and infants to tell of your strength, silencing your enemies and all who oppose you. Even the weakest and most vulnerable, like children and infants, are powerful in God's eyes. Their innocent praise silenced the doubts and objections of God's opponents. This verse highlights the theme of God using the humble and lowly to showcase his strength. 3. When I look at the night sky and see the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars you set in place. The psalmist reflects on the night sky, recognizing the stars and the moon as the meticulous work of God's hands. This verse illustrates the vastness of creation and the care with which God has crafted it, further emphasizing his attention to detail and power. Verse 4. We are men's mortals that you should think about them, human beings that you should care for them. Here, the psalmist asks an emotional question. Why should a God who created such a vast universe care about us? This verse captures the essence of human struggle with insufficiency, yet it also points to the wonder that despite our smallness, God still values us. Verse 5. Yet you make them only a little lower than God and crown them with glory and honor. This verse reveals the paradox of human existence. We are small, yet God has elevated us, given us a place of honor just below Himself. It reminds us of the dignity and value that God bestows on every human being, making us more than just tiny specks in the universe. Verse 6. You gave them charge of everything you made, putting all things under their authority. Despite our apparent insufficientness, God has entrusted us with the responsibility to govern His creation. This verse highlights the authority and stewardship God has given humanity, emphasizing our role as caretakers of the earth. Verse 7. The flocks and the herds and all the wild animals. The psalmist lists the various creations under human care, showing that God's creation is vast and diverse, yet He has placed it all under our supervision. This reflects God's trust in humanity's ability to manage His creation. Verse 8. The birds in the sky, the fish in the sea, and everything that swims the ocean currents. The psalmist continued to enumerate the different forms of life, extending human responsibility to the skies and seas. This reinforces the idea that our dominion is comprehensive, covering all aspects of creation. Verse 9. O Lord, our Lord, your majestic name fills the earth. The psalm concludes by returning to the praise of God's name, reminding us that despite the responsibility given to humanity, it is God's majesty that ultimately fills the earth. The verse bookends the psalm with a reminder of God's greatness and the reverence due to Him. The key insight from Psalms 8 is how our value is not defined by our size in the universe, but by our significance in God's eyes. Recognizing this can strengthen our faith, knowing that the same God who created the stars also cares deeply for each of us. This realization shifts our perspective, helping us see ourselves as valued participants in God's grand design rather than insufficient bystanders. Psalms 8, 1 through 9 offers a powerful perspective on human dignity and divine purpose. It reminds us that despite the overwhelming vastness of creation, our lives have meaning and value in God's plan, reinforcing our belief in a loving and attentive Creator. How do you create God's creation? Remember to use your resources wisely because God holds each of us accountable as His steward. I encourage you to reflect on Psalms 8 and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this exhortation inspiring, be sure to watch some of my other videos that can guide you through life challenges. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into spirituality and faith. Until next time, stay courageous, unstoppable, victorious, successful, healed, powerful, and strong, because you are God's masterpiece. Be blessed.